The Committee on Government Oversight will come to order. Today's hearing on Benghazi, instability and a new government, successes and failures of U.S. intervention in Libya. The Oversight Committee's mission statement is that we exist to secure two fundamental principles. First, Americans have a right to know that the money Washington takes from them is well spent. And second, Americans deserve an efficient, effective government that works for them. Our duty on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee is to protect these rights. Our solemn responsibility is to hold government accountable to taxpayers. It's our job to work tirelessly in partnership with citizen watchdogs to deliver the facts to the American people and bring genuine reform to the Federal bureaucracy. This is our mission. Today, the Oversight Committee convenes a fourth hearing related to the security situation in Libya before, during, and after the September 11th terrorist attack in Benghazi, which claimed the lives of 4 Americans. The Committee has previously brought forward important witnesses who offered new, enlightening testimony on security failures that forced the Administration to walk back false claims about the nature of the terrorist attack. Testimony of previous witnesses also identified key questions in the interagency process that only this Committee has the jurisdiction and the charge to investigate. While much of the Committee's effort in the investigation has focused on the Department of State, we have recently conducted several joint interviews of relevant military personnel with the House Armed Services Committee. While we had requested that these interviews be conducted as unclassified, the Pentagon leadership insisted that they occur at the inexplicable and unreasonable level of top secret. Some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have called for an end to this investigation. These calls are clearly premature and only raise public concerns about the political agenda to stop an important investigation before it is completed gathering facts about this interagency Obama administration debacle. In particular, the Committee seeks insight into communications and directions that flowed between the State Department, the Department of Defense, and, yes, the White House. It is essential that we fully understand areas of responsibility before, during, and after the attacks. It's my hope that today's hearing will help us add to our investigation's expanding body of knowledge, and I'm pleased that we will be proceeding on an entirely unclassified basis. We do so because the American people, more than anyone else in this body, have the absolute right to know why 4 men are dead in an attack that could have been prevented. Today we have a distinguished panel of witnesses before us today that will bring expertise to us about the current situation in Libya. One of our witnesses, retired United States Air Force Brigadier General Robert Lovell, brings with him firsthand knowledge of U.S. military efforts in Libya as he served at U.S. African Command. U.S. African Command is sometimes called AFRICOM. In the military command lingo, this is the organization that had responsibility not just for Libya, but for the entire continent of Africa. This unit's mission included both the Libyan Revolution and the September 11, 2012 terrorist attack on a diplomatic compound in Benghazi. At the U.S. African Command, General Lovell served as the Deputy Director for Intelligence and Knowledge Development and as Deputy Commanding General of Joint Task Force Odyssey Guard. In this assignment, he was tasked with helping the State Department reopen the U.S. Embassy in Tripoli after the fall of Gaddafi. We appreciate all of our witnesses taking time to testify and enlighten the public about the situation in Libya and the effects of U.S. decisions. In addition to pursuing the relevant information about the military's involvement in Libya, we continue to receive documents from the State Department. Since late March alone, we have received over 3,200 new documents, many of which have never been seen before by anyone outside of the Administration, and all of which, and I repeat, all of which should have been turned over more than a year and a half ago when the committee launched its investigation. Some of these documents, which were brought to light only days ago through a FOIA request by an organization known as Judicial Watch, show a direct White House role outside. I'm going to repeat this. The documents from Judicial Watch's FOIA, which were pursuant to our request more than a year and a half ago, show a direct White House role outside of talking points prepared by the intelligence community. The White House produced the talking points that Ambassador Rice used, not the intelligence community. In pushing the false narrative that a YouTube video was responsible for the deaths of 4 brave Americans. It is disturbing and perhaps criminal that documents like these were hidden by the Obama administration from Congress and the public alike, particularly after Secretary Kerry pledged cooperation and the President himself told the American people in November of 2012 that, quote, every bit of information we have on Benghazi has been provided. This committee's job is to get to the facts and to the truth. I, for one, will continue to chip away at this until we get the whole truth. The Americans who lost their lives in Benghazi, those who were wounded, and the American people deserve nothing less. So today's hearing is critical for what our witnesses will give us, and I welcome you and I thank you for being here. But it comes in a week in which the American people have learned that you cannot believe what the White House says, you cannot believe what the spokespeople say, and you cannot believe what the President says, and the facts are coming out that in fact this administration has knowingly